Welcome, low ego action heroes. This is Debbie Levitt from deltacx.com. We're a full service CX and UX agency, and this is the first of hopefully more installments of my new Friday stream, Deb Reacts 2. I get so many messages from so many of you who want me to give you my opinions on things you found online, social media posts, something someone put on LinkedIn. You can now send them in at deltacx.link/reaction. And every Friday, I'm going to go live, hopefully for just about 15 minutes. And we'll just hit and run. We'll just hit these real hard and real fast. And today, since I got some bootcamp curricula, I am going to focus on those. But you are welcome to send me absolutely anything you want to see me react to or get my opinion on. So let me see if I can successfully share my screen. And there we go. Hopefully now you are all seeing me and the chat room. And of course, Google's UX design certificate. I'm getting asked a lot about this one, and let's take a look at it. I mean, the way that I judge any course or any boot camp or any college university program is what's the curriculum and who's teaching it. Now, I'm not totally sure who's teaching it. I could take a look at the instructors, and it says it's Google, and I don't see human names here. So it's a little bit hard for me to go check them out on LinkedIn, see if they're really highly qualified. I can't figure out who's teaching this. So we should take a look at the curriculum. So what will you learn? Follow the design process, empathize with users, define pain points, ideate solutions, create wireframes, test, and iterate. So I think many of you would recognize that more as design thinking than as a good user-centered design process, because unless your definition of design thinking and empathizing really includes weeks of qualitative research, it really just sounds like you're going to learn design thinking. So let's take a look at the courses. First, we've got the Foundations of UX Design, which they say define the field, understand foundational concepts such as user-centered design, the design process. I don't know what the difference, I mean, to me, user-centered design is my design process, so I don't know why those are separate. Accessibility and equity focused, fine. What contributes to good design? Common job responsibilities, job opportunities, why design sprints are important. I'm going to go with no on that one. If you're not sure what I think of design sprints, go to YouTube and put in Delta CX design sprints, and you'll know. So far it looks like you're going to learn design thinking and design sprints. And if that's who Google wants to hire, that's fine, but it would explain a lot. Common UX research methods. I don't know what those are. It would be great if they told me so that I could have more faith in this, but start the UX design process and it's design thinking. So I don't really see it and I don't really get it. So I've spoken to some people who are going through this or went through this, and they said it really seemed very focused on design thinking. It seemed very focused on let's just try to guess what's going wrong here and make it better. And I know that does happen at a lot of companies, but I don't think it's going to get better until we start teaching people better. It's kind of a circle. So there you go. If you have any questions, I'm watching the chat room, but I know I'm late, so people aren't exactly showing up, but we'll do it anyway. I was also sent the Memorisely Bootcamp. Again, I've got no horse in any of these races. I have nothing to sell you that is in instead of a boot camp. So it's not like, ooh, Deb doesn't like these boot camps, but she wants to sell you this. I've got nothing to sell you. Other than like, where is this person? So let's see. Learn the skills of a UX UI designer with a micro class around the world. Join live online Zoom classes, collaborate in Figma, Miro, and Notion. Okay, so for those of you who are familiar with my model, you know that Figma, Miro, and Notion are building blocks. They are the tools that we can use, but they don't mean that we're good at user-centered design or that we're good at interaction design or that we're good at research. That's really just tools, and there's certainly tools that many people could learn in hours or days. So I'm not ready to enroll. I want to see the curriculum. Let's take a look. Learn by doing, unlike a lot of UX UI courses. So that's a writing choice to be very informal, but there you go. So let's take a look. What's your prep work before we start? Meet your classmates, create accounts in tools, do your reading, do your prep tasks. So your prep tasks is do your prep tasks. So I don't really know what they are. Someone in the Slack channel pointed this one out to me. Write Medium articles on your tasks. Why are they making people write Medium articles? This is part of a cycle of badness that I've spoken about before. We really shouldn't make people do that. And not everybody's a writer. And so it doesn't make sense to ask people to write Medium articles. I understand that the school thinks this is a great way for them to get free marketing, but it doesn't make sense. From there, you can see that you spend 2 weeks learning design thinking. You learn rapid prototyping in Figma, which would not be my choice of prototyping tool, but there you go. Web app. So it looks like apply your design thinking, estimate and build a Kanban board in Notion, define assumptions and hypotheses in Notion, conduct user surveys, map user flows and IA in Miro based on what research? It's nice to know tools like Miro and Typeform. These can be good tools, but they are our building blocks. So I don't see here where we're going to do the amazing in-depth qualitative research that allows us to map a user flow. Otherwise, without that, we're just guessing at the user flow, and we already know that many people who are doing these boot camps struggle with portfolios that make it look like they guess at stuff. Mobile app says apply your design thinking workflow, which again doesn't work for me. Who would Google listen to? Kayleen, how do you mean that? So again, I would say that Memorisely is not something that I would recommend. I also wouldn't recommend the Google one because it looks like these are just going to teach you design thinking and design sprints. If you are interested in design thinking and design sprints, you can learn them for free. They're so hot right now and so trendy. There's a million things out there that you can do that are free that don't require, a boot camp or time or money. Design sprints and design thinking are easy to learn and easy to do, and they're not considered a UX process by most people who don't make money selling you design thinking and design sprints. So I would not recommend Memorisely. Again, I haven't taken any of these courses. I just look at the courses. Does it say who's teaching them? Schedule, portfolio, office hours, tools, alumni, pricing. And I also don't get a sense of, do you get any mentoring and coaching? It's a, video of people waving to each other on Zoom. But if I can't see who the instructors and the mentors and things like that are, I don't have any particular reason to trust this. So I would go with week. I was also sent something called UX Plus University. Again, don't know them. No horse in the race. Wilson, thank you, Wilson, for the super sticker. Thank you so much for the donation. Very much appreciated. I hope something cool fell in the tip jar. I can't see it. It's superimposed in front of me and I'm looking at this screen. So this says be a UX professional in 16 weeks. Yikes, professional, that's a strong word. So mentorship. So if you've seen my perspectives video, I'd want to know what kind of mentorship are you getting and from whom? Pay nothing until you're hired sounds like an ISA to me, and I recommend against those. Make sure you've really read the fine print on them. So this is lots of sales pitch, but of course I'm looking for who's teaching it and what they're teaching. So let's jump to the curriculum. Introduction to the UX world. Okay, hard to have an opinion about that. I don't know what they're going to tell you. 1 week on UX research. It's so strange now to be doing my micro lessons on observational research and to see how many hours I've spent on that and to realize it would probably take me longer than a week just to teach you that. And that's not all of UX research. So I don't know what you're learning there. IAs, user flows, and wireframing in 1 week. Again, seems a bit short. UI design and prototyping, 2 weeks. Usability testing, 1 week. Design reviews, iteration, and handoff. Oh, it's so funny because in the Agile world, they hate the word handoff. And then you're going to do some sort of project. You're going to do responsive website design, mobile app design. You're going to do design sprint. So I'm against that. And building your case study, blah, blah, blah. So who are the instructors? Who are your mentors and coaches? It's a lot of sales pitch here and who are the instructors? Christian San Jose, founder of UX Plus University, 14 years in design leadership. Okay, let's do this. That would be this person. And he's got a friendly face. That's always nice. Okay, so what did he do before the last 2 years of running conferences and things like that? He had a designer fellowship in an 8-week program for ambitious designers looking to hone their skills. He's in that now. What? So wait, he's teaching you UX, or really design sprints, but he's in a design program for people who want to hone their skills? All right. No code something. Okay. Before that, January 2021, that's 3 months ago, he's leading the Webflow chapter. Okay, I think that's a CMS. Head of product design for a year and a half. Okay. Head of innovation and technology at an agency in the Philippines. Head of creative technology. These are a lot of very high titles. Head of UX design, founder of his own thing, senior UX designer for US Auto Parts. Produced UI designs. Show one more experience. And art director. You knew that was coming. So again, it's hard to tell how good anybody is or isn't without seeing their portfolio. It sounds like this person has a lot of agency background and mostly did a lot of creative stuff. How much UX stuff is here? I'm not completely sure. It's not completely clear to me. So I would really want to see this person's portfolio. So ultimately, I'm not convinced that something like this would make you job ready. Am I saying you're not going to learn anything from boot camps? You might learn something. You might meet some nice people. But do I think that these are going to make you job ready and help you stand out from other people taking these boot camps? My current opinion is no. Wilson says, I hate that term too, handoffs. Kayleen says, why is handoff a bad word? And doesn't Acture's homepage say handoff? Yeah, so handoff is a common word. Some people in Agile hate it because to them, it represents siloing and disconnection among teams. So hypothetically, if UX hands off a design to engineering, the way it often happens in corporate environments, though not always, is somebody goes, yeah, here's the design. Engineers, you go build it. I'll be over here working on something else. And there's a disconnection and a lack of collaboration at that point. Now, that doesn't have to happen. Just because we hand something to somebody doesn't mean it has to be siloed and disconnected and non-collaborative. But that's often what happens. And people, for some reason, have associated that with the word handoff rather than some of the other processes and things that are in place that are keeping us disconnected. Kayleen says, such a big company like Google is saying to the world that design thinking is good. Aren't large tech companies supposed to be leaders? Yeah, but you have to remember that Google mostly invented design sprints, but of course for startups. And then everybody was like, ooh, cool, startups do this, we should do it too. And design thinking used to be meaningful, and now it's not meaningful. And so I think that the problem is that anything anybody thinks works for them internally or makes them money is what they're going to push. And as I said in my book, I believe that some people might have painted themselves into a corner. What would happen if Google decided that, design sprints aren't that great an idea? Or design sprints should only be done by startups and not by big companies? Well, the whole world comes crashing down. The whole world of trainers and cottage industries and certificates and workshops and books, a whole world comes crashing down. And so I think that in some cases, even if some people or companies are going, I don't think this thing is that great, there's probably somebody who's like, yeah, well, just keep quiet because it makes us money, it brings us positive attention, whatever it is. So yeah, and Kayleen says, if a company as large and famous as Google's going to do this, who's Google going to listen to? Well, nobody. Definitely nobody as far as I can tell. And Wilson says, handoffs in my experience are usually being siloed. I have a negative connotation with me for that word. So with the new reaction videos, which I'm going to wind up now because it's been about 15 minutes, we do have a new rating system that I'm going to preview here. First, let me just flip back quickly to a giant me. Basically, for these boot camps, I give them 1 dog out of a possible 5. This would get a low rating from me, and I think that these are, I can certainly not recommend them. There wasn't anything here that made me feel like, wow, you're really going to learn some good things in good ways, and I think it would be great if you took these courses and stuff like that. I don't feel that way. Hold on, I'm going to move myself up a little bit. How's that? I don't feel that way. I don't think these are going to be strong programs. I give it 1 dog out of 5, out of a possible 5. If you send me something I like, it could get 5 dogs. That would be good. And so keep sending stuff for the reaction videos, but unfortunately, I'm still not seeing any bootcamp programs that I can recommend. It looks in general like they want to teach you some very, very short version of UX that don't really match what I do in real life. And more importantly, I think this is all going to come crashing down if UX is ever held accountable at jobs. If we were held accountable at our jobs, if you could be fired for being bad at UX, boot camps would have to change immediately. While we are rarely held accountable and while we are barely respected, not correctly utilized, it's really easy to send all kinds of people out into the world and say, you're good enough. Just go out there and do the things we showed you. So I think that if we are ever held accountable at our jobs, which I hope and pray for, boot camps will have to change. A lot will have to change. We'll probably stop doing silly workshops that guess at what we should build, because then those would be held accountable and someone would go, oh, we just did another one of those. Oh, that's what it cost? Oh, that's what came out of it? Oh. So I look forward to accountability. So as I was saying before, send your stuff to deltacx.link/reaction, and I will add it to the reaction videos. Those will be Fridays. I want them to run about 15 minutes, kind of zoom in, zoom out, and maybe I'll have enough stuff to create a theme each week. So on that note, thanks for joining. Sorry again, I was late, but I couldn't get my camera to work, then I couldn't get my microphone to work. It is clearly time for the weekend. So I'm going to get out of here and wish everybody a safe and happy weekend, and whatever you are celebrating this weekend, I hope it is safe and happy. Stay away from humans, masks on, and we will see everybody Monday, I think, for task analysis, right? Monday task analysis? Got to look at my own calendar. Monday task analysis as part of our micro lessons. Cool. Everybody be well and catch you soon. Delta CX, available for CX and UX consulting, projects, and training. Contact us for a free consultation.